something huge is headed straight towards you. But you know what they say, if you stay ready, you ain't even got to get ready. But how do you stay ready for something that you didn't even know was coming? Well, for most of you guys watching this video, you have been selected, you've been called, you've been chosen for some type of leadership. And with that leadership comes the spotlight. For most of you guys, that spotlight is coming a lot sooner than you think. And how do I know? Because I had a dream. And I was told to share the dream. So I'm going to share what happened in the dream, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to break down a few of the special elements in the dream to help you understand what could possibly be coming for you. So you get an unexpected phone call from a national TV show. They want you to be the special guest. They're going to fly you down, hotel, accommodations, the whole nine. So you get excited, you pack your bags, and you fly off. Before you know it, it's the day of the show. Now you're standing backstage, you're really nervous, but then you hear the host come out. When the host comes out, she talks to the audience, she tells them what's about to happen that day, but you can't really hear what the host is saying. Nonetheless, the host calls your name, and you walk out there onto that stage. The lights hit you, the cameras are rolling, and you know it's all about that action. Now, when the audience took one look at you, as soon as you walked out into the stage, they all stood up, they started clapping and cheering, they had smiles on their faces. And as you stood there in the spotlight, looking at all of these strangers clapping and cheering for you, you had a realization. Oh my God, I don't even know what today's show is about. When they called me and asked me to be the guest, they never said what the subject of the show was going to be. So you got really nervous. And that's when you turned around on the stage and you saw an extra set of chairs. People came out and they began to sit in those seats on the stage. Now, as you look at these people's faces, you realize, hey, wait a minute, I know all of these people. Some of these people you've known briefly, some of these people you've known for years. Some of these people you saw yesterday, some of these people you ain't seen in decades. And that's when the host comes over and tells you, hey, guess what? We know that you don't know what today's show is about. And that's when you realize, but everybody else in the room does. So the host explains to you, you see all of these people standing here looking at you. They all have something to say. And as you're looking at some of the people, you feel like, yeah, we cool, but some of these people, it didn't end too well. So the host tells you that you have a choice. If you sit down, you have to allow each and every single person to tell you what they want to tell you. Some of these people want to thank you, and some of these people want to confront you. But no matter what comes out of their mouth, you cannot interrupt. You can't say, no, that's not true. You can't say thank you if they thank you. You can't say anything. You don't know what they're going to say. And keep in mind, this is on national TV. The host says, if you decide not to sit down, then the segment is over. You're going to walk backstage. They're going to walk backstage. And whatever they had to say, they're just going to have to keep it to themselves. You have a choice. What will you do? The host looks at you with curiosity. The people that you know are on the edge of their seat, ready to burst. And the people in the audience are juiced up because they want to know what's about to happen. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, unexpected on top of unexpected, on top of unexpected, on top of unexpected. Unexpected phone call, unexpected show segment. It was unexpected that people you knew would be there. Unexpected choice you would have to make on the spot. But these are the things that happen when you are called, okay? So we're going to be jumping into special meanings and elements and how this could possibly be unfolding for you. So let's go ahead and let us jump into the numbers. As you guys can see, there are 3 numbers on the screen. Choose the one that you feel most drawn to, and of course I always tell you to listen to all of them because you just might find a special nugget of information in each one. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the elements of this dream. All right, so if you chose number one, you got the phone, which is that unexpected phone call or that unexpected news coming in. Now, when you research dreams, phone calls represent needing to take some type of action or having to make some type of decision in real life. And as you know, in the dream, it ended on a cliffhanger with you having to make a choice, okay? Now, another thing to note in this dream is that when you got the phone call, you never asked, what is the show about, okay? Before you get put on the spot, before something comes and you have to do something right there in real time in somebody's face, it's probably better for you to ask questions. What you guys have coming up is I'm getting fine print energy where you may want to look into something, research something. Let's say you get an unexpected phone call for a job, right? You might want to do some research on a company, learn some special hidden things about it so you can get the edge, right? So that you can have the advantage. Just think about it in this dream. If you knew what it was going to be about, if you knew it was going to be people there that you knew, right? And you was going to have to be put on the spot in front of all these people. If you knew that beforehand, there are probably some choices and decisions that you would have made differently before you got there. Now hold that thought, because this thing also works in reverse. If you chose number one, you're about to be in the middle of something that you did not have previous knowledge about before. What does this mean? This means that for most of you guys who are called, who are chosen, there are going to be some special elements that God is going to hide. He's not going to tell you. Because if you knew what your calling will require beforehand, you wouldn't go. You say, never mind, I don't want to be called no more. The phone will be ringing, you'll be like, nah, I ain't going to answer that. So some parts of your journey and some of the special elements have been hidden. So if you find yourself in a, oh my God, what am I supposed to do position, this was all a part of the plan. If you end up being somewhere and you don't know why you're there, this was a part of the plan. Remember that when you were backstage, you could kind of hear what the host was saying, but you couldn't fully hear all of the details. And this is kind of how it is sometimes when God is giving you your next set of instructions to move forward on your journey. It's like you kind of thought you had an idea of what was about to happen, but it wasn't until you was in the situation that things really started to make sense. So for some of you guys, as you're walking into your purpose in life, there are some things that are going to be hidden, all right? So on one part of your journey, you need to make sure you're asking the questions. Don't be so excited that you're ready to just take off and then you end up in a position that you could have navigated differently had you asked some questions, okay? But then on the flip side, a lot of things you may find yourself in, it's like, well, if I had known this before I got here, I wouldn't have came here. And that was all a part of the plan. We need you to get there, okay? For some reason, you've been called, you've been chosen, you've been selected to stand in that spotlight. And the whole point is to get you to that spotlight without you getting in your own way. Okay, so if you chose number one, get ready. Something unexpected is happening. You need to ask the right questions, but stay ready because some things you're not going to know until the very moment that it comes. If you chose number two, you got the stage. Now, symbolically speaking, you guys are at a new stage in life, okay? When you were walking out onto that stage, those lights hit you. You saw all of these people smiling and clapping, and it was at that moment you realized, I don't know what I'm doing here. Some of you guys have been walking into your purpose, and you don't even know where it's headed. You don't even know what you're doing. Why am I here? Is what you may be asking God sometimes. Who are all of these strangers? Why do people know more about me or see something else in me that I didn't even see about myself? So this new stage of your life that you're walking into, you're going to be a lot more visible to even people that you've never met before, people that you don't know. You don't know why they'll be clapping for you. You don't know why people will be smiling at you. Some of you guys probably have that energy or that vibe, but when you walking down the street, people just smile at you, or people just gravitate towards you, or they just walk up to you and want to have a whole conversation, and you're trying to figure out of all of these people, why me? Now, a lot of the things that are about to happen are a divine orchestration. Like I was explaining to the people who chose number one, the whole point was to get you to that stage, to get you to that spotlight. So there's a divine orchestration happening that you know nothing about, right? The audience members, they were called and they came down. They knew the information before you did. Some things about you are being revealed and shown to even people that you have no idea who they are. You coming to that stage, it was all centered around you. When the phone call was made, it was to get you to come down. When you were standing backstage and that producer was putting the mic on you, it's so that when you got out there on that stage, your voice can be heard. When you walked out onto the stage, that spotlight was on you. You were the one who was on a raised platform, separated from the crowd. It was you who the host had to reveal this information to. It was you who was ultimately left with the power to decide. So not only was you being on stage the main point, anything else that happened beyond that point was up to you. Some of you guys have no idea just how important you are. The stage is just the place where you're about to find that out. Now, when we talk about dream things, if you do your research on dreams, dreams about stages represent how you present yourself to the world, right? It's about social acceptance, and the clapping represents social approval. So a lot of you guys, you either have platforms or you're about to get platforms, or your platform is about to grow. And because of that, it's going to require you to put yourself out there more. It's going to require you to have to maybe interact and deal with strangers. You know, a lot of you guys may be activists. A lot of you guys may be going into politics, and you're going to have to shake hands and hug babies and do all that kind of stuff. But it's going to require you to put yourself out there in a position that where nobody may even, you may not know people, but they may know you, okay? And then the last part is about that platform, it being raised off of the ground, okay? So for some of you guys, something that you've been working on is about to come off the ground. You're getting something off of the ground, and it will be elevated, and it will be something to be seen. But the main point about this is you're going out there. The spotlight is on you, and there's been divine orchestrations happening, just like in a dream, that you didn't know what was going on. You didn't know those people was getting phone calls to go on the show. You didn't know the people you knew was going to be lined up. You didn't know the host. You didn't know nothing until you got there. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you chose number 2, get ready, because your spot is on the stage. All right, so number 3 is specifically for those who are the leaders. Okay, if you feel like you are the leader, you're the chosen one of your family, okay? You got the crowd, okay? The crowd are the people who were called, right? Now watch this. The people in the crowd were called to be audience members. You know, sometimes on like TV shows, those audience members are actually like actors, or, you know, so they want to be extras and all kind of different things. So they come down because they reached out and they wanted to be a part of it. So when their application was accepted, they got the call and they got to come on down. But guess what? You was chose, okay? You was chose to come down for a specific segment that all of the people on the stage, if it wasn't for you, they wouldn't be there either. And the people who were in the crowd, it was a distinct distinction between who was cheering and who was being cheered for. Now, a lot of times, just like in this dream, some of you guys may get cheers and applause, or, you know, good things happen, and you don't necessarily know why. But again, it goes back to divine orchestration, things happening behind the scenes that you had no idea were happening on your behalf. But just like I was telling number 2, this is all about you. The crowd was there for you. These people were warm, they were smiling, they were happy to see you. But also, and this is the bread and butter of this thing, they knew something about you that you didn't know, or they knew something before you knew it. For a lot of you guys, these are your qualities. These are what you bring to a relationship. These are what you could bring to a business partnership. You have the qualities, the uniqueness, and most of all, you were the one who was chosen. So out of all of the people who could have walked out on the stage, it was you. So because it was you, You were the one who got clapped for. Now, the people in the audience, these are people who are divinely sent or divinely called to be put in place to show you your place. A lot of y'all still trying to figure out your place or figure out, well, where am I going to be the leader at, or what platform do I have? And wherever the crowd is, that's where your flock is. That's where your platform is. That's where your stage is. It's reminded me of, I went to, I forgot which beach it was, but it has this pier and it has like the carnivals and all that kind of stuff. And the people will just come up and they will find where a whole bunch of people are, and they'll put down their mat. They'll either start dancing, or they'll start singing and rapping, or they'll start doing some flips, and then boom, next thing you know, there's a crowd. People are clapping. People are cheering. This shows that artist where their stage was. Okay, so some of you guys are going to be making stages, or you're going to be called to stages, or symbolically speaking, these are platforms. These are you having a leadership space and people being able to check you out from where they are. Also, I'm getting that's a clue for somebody. This number 3 is not just a revelation, it's a clue. For some of you guys, you're looking for your audience. You're looking for a platform. So this is your indication. Yes, there is a group for you somewhere that you are called to lead, that if you just go find them, stand in front of them, do your little dance, they're going to turn around, they're going to like what they see, and they're going to clap. Okay, so for some of you guys, yes, it is true. The dreams, the visions, you are doing something amazing, and you are to be looked at. You are to have a crowd. But for some of you guys, the crowd ain't going to be pre-selected. You're going to have to find your crowd. Okay, so that's what I get for number 3. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, unexpected things on top of unexpected things are coming your way. But this isn't where the dream themes end, okay? Because that host played a very special position. Those people who were sitting on that stage, well, they had something to say, and for some of them, they looked like they were about to burst. So we got to find out what's going on with that. Then there's the whole notion that this is on national TV. What does that mean? And there are some other elements in this dream that we're going to be breaking down. So make sure you guys click the link in the description box. Head on over to Patreon to get the rest of these vibes. Now, if you are here for the first time, go ahead and subscribe. Welcome, welcome. If you've been here and you've not subscribed, go ahead and hit that button. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Like this video. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Go over to Amazon, grab a copy of my workbook and journal. Yeah, that dream. Become a monthly listener on Spotify. Check out my music videos and the whole shebang shindig. You did. So thank you guys so much. That is what I get for you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video.